Now, you were a very close confidant and dear friend of one of the most legendary men in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King. What got you into the civil rights movement?
Well, I think you're born into it. See, my grandmama, my daddy told me, you don't want to be fighting everybody. And that if you don't get mad and get smart, you can talk your way and work your way out of any trouble. He said, even with police, he said, don't ever, if a policeman talks to you, the first thing you do is you look at his badge and you call him by name. Say, yes, sir, Officer Friendly. See, and they will appreciate that respect, and they'll know you had somebody teaching you how to get along with folk.
Right.
And so I had all of that help from my family.
Okay.
Because all my family had lived in the rural South, Louisiana, Franklin, Louisiana.
Right.
Which is on the way, halfway between New Orleans and Houston.
Okay.
Or Beaumont.
Okay.
And then, but all of the South was pretty much the same. And so I had to get along with white folks. And you could do that by looking them in the eye and talking to them man to man.
Right.
They would want you to look down. But you, even when you're little, you have to show that you respect yourself.
Right.
And you don't have to get angry. You don't have to get loud.
Right.
In fact, the calmer you are. And my father, being little, 5'4", I remember him being stopped by police. And he did the same thing. He called the officer by name, but he never raised his voice. See, he spoke respectfully. He never, the policeman, the time I remember, he ran a stop sign. You know, when we didn't have automatic transmission, you had to go from third and come back to first at a stop sign.
Right.
He went from third to second and ran through the stop sign. The policeman stopped him and said, you know, you ran a stop sign back there. And he said, yes, I realize that. He said, I slowed down, there was nothing coming, and I didn't go back to first. And he was on his license, it said Dr. Young. And he said, you're going on a call, Dr. Young? He said, no, I was taking my family to the movies. And I mean, he didn't try to beg out. And when my mother said, you should have told him you were going on, and he said, no. He said, this means a $25 ticket. And he said, my manhood and my self-respect is worth a whole lot more than $25.
That's right.
And so I'd rather pay the ticket and keep my self-respect. Well, he learned that from his father. And I learned it from the people around me.
Right.
And it works.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that surprised me when we sat and met is how closely you relate the people in my generation to your friends that you knew and that you came up with in the civil rights movement in your generation. You told me that I reminded you of Martin, and I said I don't see it. And you said to me, you didn't know Martin like I did.
Yeah.
What were those things that you say you saw?
Well, you relate to people. You smile. You tease. You flirt. Say,
man, when you seen me flirting, man?
I very seldom see you when you're not flirting with somebody. I mean, you know how to make women around you feel good. See, and it may be bullshit, but I mean, you still do it, and you get away with it. See? But that's a talent. How do you meet people and make everybody you meet feel like they're better than they really are? And the fact that people come to see you perform. And I remember watching you out at, where was that?
Which time?
It was out at the park down there.
Was it Centennial? Was it Centennial Park or?
No, it was.
Atlantic Station?
No, but it when you turn off.
I think it's the One Music Fest, what you talking about.
Well,
Piedmont Park?
No. Where is it? It was out. Going from here, it's just south of the baseball field on.
Okay.
And I can't think of the name. I'm getting old, I'll say.
Grant Park?
No.
Lake?
What? It was a concert. It was the animal. It was some.
I think I recall. You talking about Birthday Bash?
Huh?
You talking about Birthday Bash at Lakewood Amphitheater?
Lakewood Amphitheater. Yeah. And I think I was there. I went down there at the invitation of Harry Belafonte.
Okay.
And you were there.
Also another mentor of mine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but I watched the people jump up and down when you showed up. See, and there's something you got that I don't know whether you developed it or learned it or how you earned it, but there's something that makes people believe in you and want to be happy because you're happy. And all entertainers have done that. I mean, Harry Belafonte was a good one at that. Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was a really poor boy. He came from the poorest section in New Orleans. But he sang It's a Wonderful World. He wrote it. And for him, all of the problems of the world were nothing compared to the joy that he got from performing and from making other people happy.
Right.
And Ray Charles, another one that I grew up with. That,
you grew up with Ray Charles?
Well, about the same time.
Okay. Y'all knew each other?
I did. In fact, the 100th anniversary of the city of Atlanta, Ray Charles did the concert at Piedmont Park.
Okay.
And he...
How was Ray Charles?
Ray Charles was a good brother. I mean, they played him very well in the movie.
Okay.
But my daddy was a dentist, and one of the few dentists in New Orleans. So all of the bluesmen and all of the rock and rollers, they came to him to get their teeth cleaned.
Got it.
And fixed. And they'd sit at the piano and play while they were waiting. They'd entertain people in the office. And I always wished I could do that, but I wasn't disciplined enough to practice. But I was surrounded by musicians. The only thing I wished I could do, and they didn't want me to do because they looked down on you from that, I was crazy about the guys who tap danced on the corner.
Right.
See? And I always wished I could do that, but that wasn't something my parents wanted me to do.
Right. When you first met Dr. King, if you could recall the time, what was your first impression of him?
Well, I had impressions of him before I met him, because when I learned that he was, he was 25, and he had just come back from Boston University to Montgomery, and Rosa Parks sat down in the bus. And Rosa Parks sat down in the bus because another young lady who was in high school had sat down in the bus, in the front of the bus, because Emmett Till was killed in Mississippi. And this girl was not from a respectable family. But she was a member of Rosa Parks' NAACP youth group. And when they didn't respond, they just said that she's just too fast and too wild. And nobody paid any attention to her being arrested.
Right.
And so Rosa Parks was responding, said, well, she was a seamstress, quiet, respectable. Everybody in town loved her. And she just decided that she was going to sit down in the front of the bus because Claudette was the girl's name.
Yes.
She didn't respond. She didn't get the action that Rosa Parks thought she should. She didn't get the respect.
Because of perception.
Yeah. And
what people thought they knew of her. Was it physical appearance, any?
It was race.
It was race.
It was race and economics. And I think that the young lady was pregnant and wasn't married.
Got it.
But she was still a member of Rosa Parks' youth group. And Rosa Parks sat down in the front of the bus, and then they were organizing to protest her arrest. And Martin was in the back, in the mimeograph room, running the mimeograph machine, making the flyers, calling for a one-day boycott. And the Baptist and the Methodist preacher, who had been around a long time, used to take turns being the spokesman. And they got into an argument as to whose turn it was. And the women in the meeting went to the head of the NAACP and said, why don't we let this young man in the back be our spokesman for this day? And they voted him in to be the leader.
Okay.
And he was the youngest, but it was 7 o'clock at night before the meeting started, and they elected him to lead the bus boycott for one day, starting at 8 o'clock. So he had no time to prepare. But you got a sense of his education and his background, because with no time to prepare, he got up and made a speech that was brilliant. Now, his wife was expecting a baby, and she couldn't be there, but she sent a tape recorder.
Okay.
And so we have a copy of that first speech Martin Luther King made, and you see all of the speeches that he made later on were sort of little pieces that he later became the March on Washington,
Right.
or the war against Vietnam, or his Nobel Peace Prize speech. He had a lot of that in him, and he didn't have time to prepare. But he was speaking from his heart, and he had a very good education from Morehouse.